Hello, this is Tim Campbell with Action Coach Business Coaching with my Survive and Thrive Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local business owners to promote them through my social channels and email database, as well as provide some coaching. This is a free service I'm providing to support local businesses because if we save every business, we save the economy. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Tim. Welcome, Tim. It's great to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's get started. How about tell me a little bit about yourself, and if you had a 60-second commercial for your business, what would it be?
A little about myself. So, Indianapolis native, born and raised here. Did spend a little bit of time away going to school, but at that came back here in 2006. Started our company here in 2011, so we'll be 9 years old here in about 2 weeks. But our company is called the Veridus Group, and our 60-second commercial is that we help business owners and clients and partners accomplish really complicated things. So whatever that is, in the real estate development and construction world, we participate and assist our clients in every little thing that could happen along the way. So we do have designers in-house, but we have developers in-house. We have expertise in-house that does all these different things. But we really like to say that we help our clients manage and solve complex situations and problems within their projects.
Fantastic. Great job articulating your unique selling proposition. I like how succinct that was.
Thank you.
So you said you've been in business for 9 years. Did I hear that correctly?
9 years. It'll be November of 2011.
Congratulations. So who exactly do you serve? We call that your best customer. I know you mentioned it a little bit, but if you could tell me in a little bit more detail, who's your target audience?
So we really have two separate target audiences that we deal with on a daily basis. One is more of our government clients. We have a lot of small cities and towns and counties across the state of Indiana, and now we're working even into Kentucky and some other places that hire us on a weekly, daily basis to consult for them on real estate development and construction issues across their projects. Sometimes that's management of the entire project, and sometimes it's just a piece or a component of that project. The other half of that is more of our institutional clients, people who are nonprofits. Oftentimes they might be large healthcare or could be schools or churches or different things like that that have typically operate off of a board mentality. And so when the board is trying to function, then we come in and help manage that board. Libraries is another one that we've actually started to get a real foot in the door, I should say, in the last probably 2 years in the library market.
Okay, fantastic. Tim, what's been the greatest impact that COVID's had on your business?
Well, that's a great question, because I think we don't necessarily know the answer to that yet, right? So we did have several projects that were originally scheduled to begin in sometime, let's say March, April, May, that have been put on indefinite hold. We just had one of those come back. We think it's in the order of the magnitude of between $400,000 and $600,000 of contracts that were that probably won't come back, some of them. So I think that was there, but we've stayed busy all the way through with our existing clients. And I don't know that we will ever know the full impact of COVID because of the long lead time it takes us to get to a project and to a relationship with the client to where they want to move forward with us. I think we missed a lot of those that we didn't even know about, right? People that were going to do projects, that were going to make a phone call, that never did because of COVID. I think the one thing that really has hurt us is our relationship building, because our company is really built on two things, and that's really people and process. And so those are the two things that we push in every interview and every proposal and every discussion with our clients. And the people side is the most important. You know, one of our big whys for our company really is to engage in meaningful relationships so that together we can better our world, right? And so the COVID has really stopped in many ways the idea of building relationships. We have a lot of good relationships, but when you can't meet with people and you can't entertain people and you can't, there's a lot of things not happening, just picnics and the things that we would normally do in our office to attract our clients and to build those relationships. They've either become uncomfortable, or people don't want to come, or they're just unusual with masks. And then Zoom meetings can only do so much to build those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tim, what are one or two things that you've done to make a difference during this time, and how's that been working for you?
Yeah, so A couple things. So I think it was in May, we released our lockdown webinar series to still connect with our clients. And so we did a series of, I believe it was 6 different webinars every week, one at a time, or one per week, which really kind of focused in on some key services that we provide and key questions that we had been getting. So we were able to answer a lot of those questions, and collectively we had anywhere from, I think about 15 was the lowest number of people we had log in to see our stuff, and as many as 70 for one of the sessions that we did. And we basically just took our staff, and even sometimes had one of our clients participate in whatever those discussions were, and put that out there. We've recorded those, and we're going to make those available on our new website, which is coming out here in a couple weeks, just so people can go get some information about some of the main topics we deal with every day. So that's one thing that we did, and that was, again, back through probably the middle of May through June. And then, of course, as this thing has kind of drug on a little bit longer than I think most people anticipated, we did bring our staff back to the office as quickly as they were comfortable doing. So our staff is back at the office today, full time. And for the most part, everybody is. We've had a few situations where people needed to stay home and quarantine for exposure, whatever the case is. But I think having people back in the office, because the relationship piece for us, Tim, starts in the office. And if we can't have relationship with each other on our staff, then it's hard for us to push that mindset and that culture out to our clients.
Makes complete sense. Yeah. Well, this is an interesting question. So it's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what mistakes did you make along the way that other entrepreneurs can learn from your experience?
That's a really good question, and it's not that uncomfortable for me, because I think that as leaders and as company business owners, we have to be willing to make mistakes, right? And to learn from those. And as you said, wise people learn from other people's mistakes. And so I do have a series of other things that I've tried not to do because I've watched other people do them. I would say for us, we were a little slow as a company, and we're 9 years old now. So we're a little slow, though, in really getting a robust accounting system, because for us, that was something that made it was a game changer when it came to revenue and being able to track time and expenses properly. No offense to anybody that uses QuickBooks, but it just, for us, wasn't up to speed for what we needed. And I'll tell you, we actually saw about a 10% increase in revenue almost the moment we switched over. And we wish we would have done it years ago, right? So that was one mistake we made. Number two, I kept putting off hiring a business manager. We're not that big. We're 11 people now. And so we've kind of organically grown a little bit here and there. And I'm a civil engineer by training, but I was doing all the accounting, all of the HR, all of those things that are not in my wheelhouse at all. Like, those are things that are completely outside of my skill set. And we recently hired a CFO type role in our office that handles our HR and all the business side. And it has opened up for me probably 10 to 15 hours a week that I didn't know I was spending. And so I would just encourage anybody that's listening or watching this today, I mean, the sooner you take that leap and you do that as a small company, to get that stuff off of your plate, especially when it's not what you do every day, the better you're going to be, and you can start working on your business instead of feeling like you're drowning inside the business.
Yeah. Great insights. Thank you for sharing that. The accounting system, that one is very interesting. It's something that we see with our clients as well, is that as soon as you start tracking something, it almost magically improves, and your 10% increase is the average that we see with our clients as well. Isn't that interesting also that you said 10 to 15 hours of time that you just didn't realize you were investing in that area? And I can only imagine what you're able to accomplish with those 15 hours now.
Well, that's a good point, because I'm still trying to figure that out, right? Because it's been 9 years that I've been doing this other stuff, and all of a sudden I've got this extra time on my hands. And it has freed me up to do some extra things with my kids that I wasn't doing before, whether it's coaching their teams or doing other things. But at the same time, I go into the office every morning at about 5:30 to 6 o'clock. And that's when I used to do all of my invoicing and accounting, and because I was uninterrupted and I needed to focus on it. And now I still go in that time, and sometimes I sit there and I'm like, what what should I do today? I don't know what I'm going to do today, right? And which is a really good place to be as a business owner, right? Because then I can think and I can dream and I can vision about what we need to be doing as a company to continue to grow and make an impact with our clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I teach that there's two things that a business owner should be spending their time on. One is the strategic direction of the organization, and number two is taking care of the team. And then because if you take care of the team, then the team can take care of everything else. So it's great that you're realizing that and seeing that benefit.
Yeah, thank you.
So second last question here. I'm going to get your contact information to include when I post this video. Is there anything else that I should provide in that, like a special offer or anything?
Not so much a special offer, Tim. We are very careful to make sure that all of our clients become more than clients. We've been intentionally moving our client relationships to non-transactional, but more to relational opportunities, right? And so what we mean by that is a lot of things, but more importantly is we want to be a resource for all of our clients and potential clients. And so if people have questions about whether or not we can help them or whether or not they should look at somebody like us as an owner's rep for their project, then we want to just be able to talk to them. I mean, I've spent 5, 6, 7 hours at times looking at projects, helping people understand kind of where somebody like us would fit. Doesn't have to be us. And then the one big thing that we always push to, Tim, is that we want that relationship to be two ways, right? So we really do want that. We want to provide value to our clients. We've had a couple situations over the 9 years where we got to a point where we just weren't seeing the value that we were able to provide to the client, yet we were continuing to bill. And so I sat down with that client and said, look, I don't think you need to pay us anymore. You seem to know exactly what you're doing. You've learned the opportunity, you've taken the opportunity to learn this process. You're doing it on your own, or you have staff people that are doing it on your own. I don't think you need to continue to pay us, except for maybe a question here or there. So we actually run that way all the way through our business, right? So it doesn't have to be at the end where we don't provide value. I mean, we want to make sure we're providing value from the very beginning through the very end. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for us to be there and take time and money away from somebody else. So we have plenty of work to do. So we would rather be providing value someplace else if we can. But at the beginning, we do want people to be able to call us, sit down with us, share their dreams, share their project, help us understand where they're at, so that we can figure out if we can help, or if there's somebody else like us that can help, or if we just need to push them in a different direction. Because we do everything, Tim, around that real estate development and construction. We have brokers in the office, we have developers in the office, we have construction guys in the office. So we can literally touch and feel every part of that, all the way down through facilities management. And so understanding what their need is really important to us to be able to identify that. And so when it comes to special offers, no, it's not special. Just call us and or email us, and we will sit down and we will have a conversation about what your next project is and what you're trying to accomplish as a firm or a company. And we will see if there's an opportunity to walk beside you and do that with you.
Fantastic. And Tim, I would say that in a broader sense, I think that is a special offer, because to your point about you're not transactional, right? You're relational is that is a unique selling proposition for you guys. And so I thank you for that, for offering that chance to talk to you without having to sign a contract or, pay an invoice. But so I do think that helps differentiate you. So thank you for offering that. Last question here. Tim, tell me, what is most inspiring to you in today's crazy world?
I think just so we are, as you said, Tim, as you kind of alluded to, we're dealing with, I think some, and I hate the word because it's so overused anymore, but unprecedented times, right? We're seeing just the pandemic, of course, is a big one. And then you add on top of that the race relationships in the United States. And then you add on top of that the election that we're seeing and that we're in the middle of, and the divisiveness of the country and everything else. And I'll tell you, we've been fortunate, not necessarily intentional, but fortunate in our office to have a very diverse staff. And so we've been, I think what gives me hope as I kind of talk to our people, I mean, out of our 11 people, we have, we have 3 African Americans, 1 Mexican national that we utilize every single day, and they're great people that serve a great purpose in our organization. And I love them and their families. And we've been able to have really intelligent, meaningful conversations about race relations, and we don't talk a lot of politics in our office, but just understanding where people are coming from as individuals and as families, and what's important to them, and how we can come alongside them as a company and as individuals and care for them and where they're at and what's going on, and to make sure their voice is heard. I mean, the one thing that we believe is that everybody wants to be heard in life, right? They really want to have their voice mean something, or their opinion means something. And so every project we do, we talk about that. But I think as far as inspiration, I think that just the human heart, we can get so discouraged with what we see on the news every day. But at the end of the day, we believe that that the people that are surrounding our family anyway are good, right? And that we have intentionally surrounded ourselves with smart, intelligent, good people that want to engage in meaningful conversation. And if change is necessary, then let's talk about what that looks like, and start making that every single day. So while there is a lot of noise and a lot of divisiveness, even amongst our family and different people, right, I think there is a good river that's moving, that is moving for change today.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate it, Tim. Well, hey, that concludes our interview. I appreciate your time today. I would like to invite you to the opportunity to take advantage of a free coaching session. We can talk through how to spend those 10 to 15 hours that you've freed up. This offer is also available to anyone that's watching this interview. If you've heard something that Tim and I talked about that you may be struggling with in your company, would love to offer you an opportunity to jump on a free call and talk through that and get you to a better place. So Tim, thanks again for your time today. It's been a pleasure learning a little bit more about yourself and your business.
Sure. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. You too.